Hello everyone and welcome to what I thought was going to be the video of the final round of the 2021 Sinquefield Cup in a game between Maxime, Vachier, Lagrave and Shankland Mamedyarov, but instead I decided to show this one. Maxime won the tournament, but his last round game against Mamedyarov was, well, it wasn't a snooze fest, but it was a line that is very often used amongst grandmasters to achieve quick draw. So I'm going to show it real quickly. We're just going to fly through the moves and then we're going to show the actual game that this video is about. So in the game that I'm showing, Mamedyarov had the white pieces against Maxime, and this is a game from the final round of the Sinquefield Cup. So d4, we have knight to f6, so just a normal Grunfeld defense. We have captures, e4, nothing out of the ordinary here, so just a normal opening. I'm flying through the moves because we've already shown this game on the channel, and I decided never to show it again, by analyzing moves, but I'm going to show it to you just for the sake of those who still have not seen this drawing mechanism. Knight to c5, bishop here, and now on move 19, black attacks the white queen on e1, but we have bishop captures on d4. So here Mamedyarov gives up the queen, Maxime captures it, and now Mamedyarov gains a perpetual here with rook to g7 check. King has to move, we're gonna move rook to d7, again opening up a discovery here, so the rook from d8 cannot capture our bishop, and here we have a repetition, and he was in this position on move 25 that Mamedyarov and Maxime agree to a draw. Now, that being said, let's check out the actual game. And the game in question is Maxime Vachier Lagrave versus Sam Shankland, and this is actually a game from round 3 of the 2021 Sinquefield Cup. So let's check it out. We have e4 by Maxime, e5, knight to f3, knight to c6, and bishop to c4. Going for the Italian game, we have bishop to c5, and now Maxime unfortunately did not go for the absolute best move here. He played c3, goes for the main line of the Giuoco Piano, knight to f6, and d3 now. We have d6, castles, and a6. We have a4 and h6. So this has all been played before, nothing weird happening here. We have rook to e1 and the bishop back to a7. We have knight b to d2, and now usually people just castle here, but Shankland goes bishop to e6, and this was played only once so far, so he's trying a very sneaky variation against Maxime. So let's see what he had in mind. Bishop captures, f captures, and knight to f1 now. And here there is one game that I've mentioned where castles was played, but Shankland plays a5, and it is now as of move 11 that we have a completely new game. So let's see how Maxime continues here. Knight to g3, just a natural development of the knight. Queen d7, now leaving the option of black to castle kingside and queenside. Bishop to e3, countering black's dark square bishop on a7, and here Shankland trades. We have captures, and g5. And now we see what Shankland's idea was. He wants to attack on the kingside, so naturally he will probably castle queenside. And what's the best way to react when someone attacks you on the kingside? Well, of course, you counterattack in the center, especially if the king is still in the center of the board. So d4 by Maxime, and now we have castles by Shankland. We have d5 attacking the knight and the e6 pawn, captures, and knight to e7 now. So the pawn is now attacked twice, and Maxime, of course, will defend it. We have c4, and now knight to g4, attacking the rook on e3, and Maxime shifts it over to b3, rook to b3, and now he does have some ideas here of how he wants to attack the queen side. The a5 pawn is not defended, so this will be his plan. We have rook d to f8, shifting the rook over to the f-file, and now there are some ideas of knight captures on f2, king captures, and then we're gonna attack the knight since the king will be on the same file as the rook. So here queen to e1, defending the f2 pawn with the queen, and also attacking the a5 pawn. So here b6, Shankland needs to defend his a5 pawn, and now rook to b5, and now Maxime will just play b4, bust open the position here and win the game, if of course Shankland doesn't do anything. So he goes for it. Knight captures on f2. Now, of course, we're not going to capture with the king. We're going to capture with the queen. That was the plan. And now g4. The knight seemingly cannot move, as black would capture the white queen, but that's only seemingly because knight captures on e5 was played. Now, the rook is attacking the white queen, but the knight is also attacking the black queen. And here, if you just capture the knight, white's going to move the queen, and the white will be better here. Still, the same ideas apply. c5 will just, completely destroy the position position. Also b4 is still in the game, so not much for black to hope for here. So instead, after knight captures on e5, we have queen captures on b5, now eliminating the white rook here, and a captures on b5. We have rook captures on f2, king captures on f2, and only now recapturing the knight with d captures on e5. King to e3, and now, as white is ready to claim the f-file for himself, black, of course, will not allow this, rook to f8. And we have this position where the material is completely equal. Maxime has a doubled b-pawn, but he has 2 pawn islands, Shankland has 3, and Maxime has a bit of a more active king. And here we have rook to f1. He says the rooks must come off the board, and it's a very natural decision because white rook is doing absolutely nothing, and well, aside from controlling the f-file, there really isn't another job for the rook to be doing now. So rook to f1, you have to counter black's rook, and now black just trades. We have captures, captures, and now knight to f5 with check. King to d3, you could also go king to e4, but then we just repeat knight to d6 check, and it's a really, well, not something you want to go for. Knight captures on c4, loses this, and, you know, black will just be better here. So instead, after knight to f5 check, we have king to d3. You are always safe when you put your king, when you put a 1 square in between your king and your opponent's knight. We have king to d7. Now Shankland also starts bringing the king into the game. Knight to d2 now. We have knight to d6, and now comes knight to e4. And here is the position that really, well, gives us a lot of knowledge about chess in general. Here you have to play knight to e8, but that's a very well, that's a move that you have to know you have to play, otherwise you don't play it. Because here, if you play what was played in the game, then the game is just lost. So here, knight to e8, you have to control the f6 square, and there will be no knight to f6 check, followed by knight captures on g4. Now you're just controlling this f6 square, and you can see that the pawns are doing a very nice job of keeping the white king away from, you know, reaching anything in black's half of the board. So you don't really have any good moves here. If you go knight to f2, we can simply defend it with knight to f6, so not much for you to do there. But instead, king to e7 was played, and now, well, he allows Maxime a very interesting idea. So feel free to pause the video here and try to find this idea while I give you a couple of seconds. So for those of you who were able to do it, congratulations on successfully solving the first pause the video moment, as there will be at least another one. And for those of you who just want to enjoy the show, it's knight captures on d6. That's what we needed to see, and that's the title of the video. You know, king and pawn really is everything. So here, c captures on d6, and now king to e4, and there is no way for black to keep equality here. You have to prevent king to f5. If king to f5 is just game over, so king to f6 is your only move. And now b3. Maxime just wastes a move here, prevents a4 by black, and now you either move the king or you have to play something with the pawns. If h5, we're just going to play g3, and again, you have to play king to g6, and our next move is the same. So instead, after this b3 move, we have king to g6 right away by Shankland, but now feel free to pause the video for the second time and find the only winning move for white while I give you a couple of seconds. So for those of you who were able to do it, congratulations on spotting that the black king is too far away from the white pawns that are soon to be passed pawns. And for those of you who just want to enjoy the show, it is of course c5, and this move ensures that we either get a pass pawn by capturing, by pushing, well, really depends on what black plays, but all in all, if black captures with either pawn, then we're just gonna get another pass pawn that is very close to queening. And capturing with the b pawn makes little sense, because after b6 the king is too far away, he's outside the square of the pawn, and if you try try something like c4 captures and a4, we're very much well, we're a lot faster, and we're gonna be able to prevent the black queening. We can deliver check, then play something like queen a3, guard the queening square, and that's it. So instead, after c5, d captures and c5 makes much more sense. This is what Shankland played. But now d6, we have king to f7. Okay, the king is now inside the square of the pawn. But now Maxime plays a really cool move. He doesn't capture on e5, although capturing on e5 wins the game just the same. Yeah, I'm just gonna show it. For example, a4, black wants to create a pass pawn of his own, captures in c4, d7, king to e7, and now king to d4. We're gonna capture here, you're gonna capture here, and this position is now winning for white. But Maxime chooses a different line that allows black to preserve his pass pawn, but is also hopeless for him. So here, king to d5 by Maxime. We have e4, king to c6, we have e3, now comes d7, e2, a d8 queen, and e1 queen. So both players get a queen into the game, but now king captures on b6, and well, Maxime has another beautiful passed b pawn. Now he's just gonna move the king and promote this pawn to another queen. So here we have queen to e6 check, king to a7, and now c4. Black also creates another passed pawn, but it doesn't help him all that much. B captures, we have a4, b6, we have a3, b7, and now a2. And now, of course, you don't want to bring a queen into the game. If you do that, black just brings his own queen into the game, and now, well, this comes with check, and you're just dead lost. King to b7, we're going to deliver check, and after the king moves, we're going to have this beautiful checkmate with the four queens surrounding the white king. So after a2, we have queen to c7 check first by Maxime, king to g6, and now just, well, there's only one winning move here for white, but I'm not going to ask you to pause the video because it's a really easy one to find, since you have to stop the pawn from being promoted. Of course, the move is queen to a5, and after that, there's really nothing for Shankland to do here. There are no checks. You could deliver one check, queen to e3 check, but after we move the king, there is no way to continue the game. If queen to a8 check, we just bring our queen into the game, and that's it. We block check, easily winning. So yeah, after this really awesome queen to a5 move, it was in this position that Sam Shankland resigned the game, and a wonderful victory for Maxime Vachier Lagrave in round 3 of the 2021 Sinquefield Cup. So I hope you don't mind that I've shown this game instead of the game from the last round, but even though I did show it, I just didn't analyze it. But most of you know about this drawing mechanism, so it was only, quickly went through it for those of you who still haven't seen it. But yeah, if you guys are interested about the standings, these are the standings after the final round. So Maxime Vachier Lagrave wins it, well, followed by Fabiano Caruana, Wesley So, and Linier Dominguez, and it was a pretty crazy fight. Okay, here something's different. Here we only have the Grandchester points, but all in all, Maxime ended by winning the tournament with a half a point lead, and a lot, there were 3 people following him. I think Wesley was on 6, Fabi was on 6, and let me just quickly check so I don't I'll tell you. Yeah, okay, and the Dominguez, of course, and Fabi faced. Sorry, let me just check really quickly. Yeah, Fabi faced Richard Rapport in the final round, and he only got a draw. He couldn't force a win against Rapport, so naturally he ended the tournament half a point behind Maxime Vachier Lagrave. And Wesley faced Linier Dominguez in the final round, and well, as the two of them drew the game, they finished with 5.5 points. We have in 5th place Richard Rapport with 4.5, Jeffrey Xiong with 4, Mamedjarov with 4, Shankland with 4, Peter Svidler with 3.5, and Dario Schwirtz with 2.5 points. So that's it for the 2021 Sinquefield Cup. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, as we've been covering the Morphy saga for quite a while now, and I've missed a lot of things that were happening. So if you have any favorites of your own that occurred, in a serious tournament, in online play, doesn't really matter. Just use #suggestion in the comments or send me an email, and I will check out your suggestion. So yeah, that's the game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Really awesome stuff by Maxime. Wesley So is the well, overall winner of the Grandchester 2021. And he won it by you know, it wasn't even close. So congratulations to Wesley so as well. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. I would like to thank Merjin Van Wooden, Odi Kichuku, Tom Deralo, Nirajan Koirala, and Alain Goet for contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot. I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon, continuing the coverage of whatever else is happening in the chess world, checking up on your wonderful suggestions, and that's it for now. Thank you all. I will see you soon, and have an excellent rest of your day.